See that? Okay. I put you in the wrong seat. I'm sorry.
I should put these somewhere.
What do you got? Firecrackers?
Fireworks.
Oh, yeah. Don't put them in your car.
Where can I put them?
Yeah, you can lay them right there, unless you want to set them off.
No, I don't.
That would be something interesting. Because I'm getting threats nowadays.
Are you?
Well, yeah. That's just part of the job. But if you start setting firecrackers off in here, people at home will think, "What the hell's going on?"
It's sketchy. That's a shame.
Well, it's always good to see you, Marie.
It's good to see you, Mike.
All right, and I'm trying to think. Oh, you know what? The first question I have for you, because I don't think we talked about why you're coming here today, but I
missed you. That's why.
Yeah.
I just stopped by.
You sound like my grandson. I miss you, Paul. I read a story just now about a homeless person in Milwaukee who was shot last night, and we're referring to people who are homeless now as unhoused.
Correct.
When did that come about?
Well, I think, in an effort to try to soften the image and sort of the imagery that people conjure up when they think of homelessness, unhoused is a little more respectful, I think, and less stigmatizing kind of terminology.
It's not just one of those woke things, right?
No.
That's what they always say.
It's too early for that,
We're
Mike.
getting woke. This is all a woke snowflake kind of stuff.
Yeah. And then we have the Supreme Court ruling that came out with criminalization of homelessness and people that are unhoused. And so, in Beaver County, it's a little bit different. We have a lot of resources. I'm proud to say the Cornerstone of Beaver County is one of those. Great relationships with law enforcement and others in the community, businesses and medical facilities and other and faith-based, et cetera. So it's a great, not only the Cornerstone, but others in the continuum. So I think there's enough resources that we reach out to one another, we support one another, so we should not see a problem with that.
Yeah, and that Supreme Court decision, how much would it affect someplace like Beaver County? Because we're talking about Portland and Pittsburgh who
Correct.
have homeless encampments. I shouldn't even say, we really don't have that. Do we have any of those here?
We do have people unhoused living outside, but we don't have encampments per se. You don't see groups of folks gathering.
Tent
and
people
that's
like.
Correct. That, we don't have the population for that. And we're fortunate. We have resources, as I mentioned, that we don't have that, and we're lucky.
Mm-hmm. And one of the other things, because it's been so hot recently, is you have a cooling center.
We do. There's a couple of folks in the community, in the county, that offer the opportunity for folks to come in and get relief from the heat. And we have seen folks coming in. We offer water and some snacks, opportunity to just come in, cool off, sit down. And then if there are other issues that have led you to not have a place to be cool or a place to be shaded from the weather, you can talk to us and we can offer services or refer you for services.
Okay. Great. Always great programs for people in Beaver County. And, of course, the Beaver County Commissioners helped you out with the new building down in Vanport, and that's all going well?
Absolutely. We've just hit our one-year anniversary, June the 12th, and we've served over 200 men in that location to date. And so, again, couldn't have done it without the help of the commissioners and others. The United Way supported us, and Penn Energy supported us. And in our operational efforts, the Hillman Foundation, the Pittsburgh Foundation, and others have supported our ongoing efforts to offer services through that location.
Marie Timpano is with us. Are you here in the capacity of the Cornerstone of Beaver County, or are you here to tell us about the Hoot Owls performing in Beaver Falls tomorrow?
Both, Mike. So Friday night, actually, the Hoot Owls will be performing at the night market over in Beaver Falls at Falls Park. And we, thanks to the city, thanks for hosting us. Come on out, enjoy your neighbors. The weather's going to be lovely, food and refreshments and live music from the Hoot Owls. I'm thrilled to be in Beaver Falls Friday night.
Yeah.
6 to 8, I think we're playing. 6 to 8.
I think that's the time.
Yeah.
And I know they have food trucks and all kind of stuff out there.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I was just there yesterday because not the Cornerstone, but the senior centers, those folks, were doing the the vouchers for
the farmers market.
Farmers markets, yeah. So I was back there, and it's very beautiful. I don't know if you've been in that setting yet. They have a stage there for you, but a lot of shrubbery and green and
it's
and stuff
beautiful.
like that. Yeah.
I have been in that location. I've seen some of my friends, Kelly Burgos Harper, sang there, and and it is a lovely location. So much appreciated to the city for having us, and what a great place to gather. The city's doing so many wonderful things over there in Beaver Falls. And we're proud for our headquarters to be there, and I'm proud to be friends and colleagues with those in the city. We're excited to be there Friday night.
6 to 8 Friday night.
6 to 8. Come check us out. It'll be fun.
What's on the set list?
Lots of stuff.
Okay.
Lots of stuff.
Has it been set already, or?
Well, I was just peeking at it before I came on air.
Okay.
Actually, our bass player Mike sent out the set list, and so then a week from Friday we'll be in Monaca for their Groove and Grub or Grub and Groove. I forget what order that goes in.
Speaking of Kelly Burgers Harper.
Kelly Burgers Harper. Yeah, we'll be down there.
Okay.
So that'll be
you're
fun.
making around in Beaver County. You're usually all over tri-state area.
We are.
Yeah, but
we
now,
love being in Beaver County.
Yeah.
We're thrilled to be down in my home. Obviously, born and raised here. I'm thrilled to be here.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So now, why are you here?
I'm here to talk about a little bit about what's happening with the Cornerstone. We just hit our 8th anniversary as an independent nonprofit serving the community and helping to prevent and end homelessness. And then, of course, the 1-year anniversary of the 24-hour emergency men's shelter. And so we just wanted to talk a little bit about that, let the community know that we're here, and we have some upcoming events as well. But just, making sure people remain aware of our services and our programs, and if they want to volunteer or come out and support us, certainly those opportunities are available as well.
200 men.
200 men,
Wow,
Mike.
that's incredible.
That's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
And from all over the county?
From all over the county, and we're seeing exits to positive housing outcomes about 65%. We know that we still have a shortage of affordable housing in the county. For every 100 folks that need affordable housing, there are 68 available units, and so we're seeing a shortage of that. Our housing authority, for the first time in my lifetime, is sharing that they, as far as occupied units or wait lists, are full. There may be some openings in some of the communities, but not many, which is really, really unique. It's the first time that I've seen or experienced that.
Mm-hmm. And that's a good thing and a bad thing, because the housing is there, but there isn't enough housing.
Correct.
So there's a wait list, and a lot of the people who are trying to make that transition are not able to do so because
Correct.
just don't have the homes for them.
Correct. And, we have seen a decrease in length of time homeless. We have seen a decrease in people returning to homelessness. And I want to say that's because of the great continuum of services. I was just at Beaver County has their public hearings, Beaver County Services, Beaver County Behavioral Health. And all of the service providers through the county are represented there. Yesterday, it was the Mental Health Association in Rochester. Tomorrow, Thursday, it will be at the center at the mall from 1 to 3. It's a public hearing where you can come in. We'll talk about all the programs and services being offered, and you can have input. There's a survey going around. There's a link to it, but there's also, you can receive hard copies, paper copies of that survey as well. It's a great opportunity to have input into the programs and services that are happening, what's working, what's not working for you. Have a voice in what's happening in the county.
What recourse do people have when they register or apply and they're told, we just don't have anything now? It might be 60 days before we get something to free up.
Yeah, then we're looking for alternative options for those individuals, either shelter options in county or out of county. We certainly continue to work very closely with our partners at the Women's Center and Shelter in Beaver, primarily domestic violence provider, but also will support individuals who are homeless. And then we also work with out-of-county providers, and we have 2 units of housing we call Beaver County On Call in College Hill that we use for families or individuals who may not be appropriate for a shelter setting. And then we have also some other supportive services to help folks get through that wait time. We'll help you to secure food. We're seeing a lot of folks with utility arrearages as well. Mm-hmm. As you know, the Emergency Rental Assistance Program ended. And with the ending of that, we're seeing folks who are struggling again. So we're seeing increased numbers. And strangely, we're seeing, I don't know if this is strange or not, but I'm curious about it, increased numbers of older adults coming into the program. In fact, 2 weeks ago, we had 19 men in the shelter, 10 of which were seniors in the community. And so, that's a concerning situation, because you have seniors in the community who may have mobility issues or other comorbidities and need other supportive services. And so we want to ensure that those folks who are additionally vulnerable out there, that they're receiving the support that they need as well.
So your staff actually has a lot to do. There are all different directions that they have to go to try and help people, whether it's utilities or food, housing. There's a lot going on out there, and people turn to you and expect you to help them.
Absolutely. We get a lot of calls for information and referral, everything from can you fix my roof to individuals who are living in environments that are not meant for humans or habitation. They may not have utilities. They may be insecure with food insecurity. Again, in Beaver County, though, there are a number of programs and services. You can get a meal in Beaver County every day of the week through one of the community meal programs that are out there. And so we're providing a lot of information and also helping folks to bridge the gap in services if they're waiting on wait lists to get services. We're there to support them.
I was standing in line just the other day, and a couple of older women behind me were talking, and they were talking about how difficult it is as you get older. And if you had a husband that you relied on, and a lot of women of a certain age relied on their husband's paychecks and thought that they would get their Social Security or their pensions afterwards. But the one woman was saying that she was supposed to get a good pension from her husband when he passed away. But then the company went to bankruptcy court, and the company was allowed to vacate the amount of money that they were getting, and this happens all the time.
Yeah, and I know that's not only an issue here in Beaver County; it's an issue across the country where we're seeing increasing numbers of elderly trying to make ends meet. And so again, if you're out there and you're struggling, give us a call. As I mentioned yesterday at the public hearings for the Beaver County Systems of Care, the Office on Aging, Marcy Scott was there representing the Office on Aging and talking about the wonderful programs and services that they are offering as well. So there are supports out there. We still have some gaps in services, but again, we're trying to address those as a system. But there are programs and services, and if you need information, you should reach out, and we'll try to help to get you to that.
It's funny, that's the second time in 24 hours that I've heard the name Marcy Scott come up.
Marcy's wonderful. She's new, not new to Human Services here in the county, but she's been about 4 months as the Deputy Administrator of the Office on Aging. She's doing a great job over there. She's a wonderful colleague and friend, very knowledgeable, and really working hard at the Office on Aging to get programs and services and information out to our senior population here in the county.
And they're located in Conway, right?
They are located in the Human Services building in Beaver Falls.
Oh, in Beaver Falls.
Yes,
okay.
They do have senior centers in areas, Circle of Friends, and then, of course, the center at the mall.
Yeah, they did an outstanding job yesterday with the vouchers for
that's a great
farmers
program.
market. Oh, yeah. And I mean, there were 200 people lined up there probably before noon, and it was hot.
Yeah, it was
yesterday,
hot.
But they were able to take care of it, keep the lines moving well, and get people in and out as quickly as possible.
And we have some great farmers markets, and so I know my mother-in-law participates in that program. And she goes out and gets some of the produce and things. Yeah.
And the vouchers that are granted. And that's another thing. Let me bring that up in the terms of funding, federal funding, where that all comes from, and funding for the programs that you work with, and all the social service agencies in the county. Couldn't have that if you didn't have the monies coming in, and we're passed through the county, comes in, and the commissioners then do their work and spread it out. But that doesn't happen. And oftentimes, those type of social service agencies are the first on the cutting block.
Absolutely.
They say, we have to cut the budget. Let's do this.
Absolutely. And so that's why, we do a lot of work to educate the community and to inform and advocate for those who are vulnerable in our community. Again, we are fortunate to have Dina Cibatoni, who's the head of the Continuum of Care here for homelessness in Beaver County, Marlene Landrum, the head of community development, work very closely with them. And our Beaver Falls location, where a lot of our case management, direct services for veterans and reentry and individuals with substance use disorder, children and youth services, families who are involved in that system can come to us for housing support as well. But in addition to that, the men's shelter has been, I'll be honest, has been challenging. I think it's hard for people sometimes to understand why it's so costly to operate a program such as the 24-hour men's shelter. As I mentioned, we've served over 200 men, many of them with other complex sorts of issues and challenges. And so with that, we are staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are offering a number of services, as I mentioned, but funding that entity is challenging. We have been fortunate. Again, we have had a lot of foundation support. We get support through the Emergency Solutions Grant, but we continue to work to raise dollars to continue to support that, because where would those 200 individuals be or have been for the Cornerstone not to have been there and be able to provide services and case management and other supports, not only to support them in crisis, but to assist them as they transition into the community and to ensure they remain independent and successful in the community. And so it's not a cheap endeavor. We're appreciative of the support that we get, but that's my job each and every day, Mike, to go out there and continue to raise dollars to keep that going.
And I must say that you have learned a lot in the last 8 years, because I think I knew you before you got into this role.
You did. I was the former director of Life Beaver County when I first met you.
Right,
yes.
Exactly. And in 8 years, what an education you've had. And what a service that you've been able to provide for people in the county who really need it.
I'm really proud that the Cornerstone, eight years, in the 8 years that we've been in existence, we have served thousands of individuals and families in the community, millions of dollars of support going directly to the hands of those who are in need. We've advocated and educated the community on the need for safe and affordable housing. But I couldn't have done it without a supportive and tremendously supportive and enthusiastic board of directors and an incredible team at the Cornerstone at both locations, Beaver Falls and at our Cornerstone and Beaver County Emergency Men's Shelter. And without the support of our community, the faith-based community, as you mentioned, our commissioners, and folks like yourself, Frank, the radio station who supported us, and other friends of the agency who have supported our efforts and believed in what we're trying to do and helped us to get to where we are. We couldn't thank those individuals enough, including our volunteers and donors to the program. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
It's crazy. And it's still true today that most of the people that we're talking to are one paycheck away from being homeless themselves.
Absolutely. You'll hear Executive Director of the United Way of Beaver County, Mary Lou Haryu, talk about the ALICE population. That's now 39% of those in our community, essentially the working poor, paycheck to paycheck. We're seeing a percentage of that population as well. And so I work a lot with Mary Lou. The United Way was able to become a United Way agency this year. That's an effort from the board of the United Way, former Director Mike Rubino, and now Mary Lou Haryu, who have helped us to get to where we are. But we are pleased and honored to be a part of the United Way. But we are also, pleased to see that they're addressing that ALICE population, because that's a lot of our friends and neighbors here in Beaver County. It's surprising, to be honest with you, that 39% of the population are, I think ALICE is asset limited, income constrained, employed, working poor. They're working part-time jobs, a couple of them sometimes, but still cannot make ends meet.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
It is, truly. And so what do you, Marie Timpano, want people to know as we conclude our time together?
I want you to know that we're here if you need our help. You can call us at 724-846-6400. We're happy to help you. You can come to our website, cornerstonebeaver.org. Please follow us on Facebook. Sign up for our quarterly newsletter. Give us a call. Follow us on social media on Facebook. October the 12th is our annual Party with a Purpose. We're going to be at the Monaca Turners. It's a prize bingo of sorts. Okay. It'll be Saturday, October the 12th, so please mark your calendar for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And more importantly, it's going to raise dollars to help to support those who are in need in our community. So, if you have questions, if you have concerns, don't hesitate to reach out. I appreciate WBVP for helping us to get the word out.
The Monaca Turners is a pretty big hall for bingo.
It is.
Yeah. So
we're hoping to get about 300 folks out there that night.
Nice. And it's October 12th?
October 12th.
And you can get tickets now? Or
soon you will be able to get tickets.
People start calling your office and
that's okay. Call.
Your staff will say, "What did you say?"
Yeah. I get in trouble after I get off the radio sometimes, but
very good. So do that, and of course you got the Super Bowl that comes up
February
in the wintertime, and the Hoot Owls in Beaver Falls Friday night.
Please come out and support us. Again, live music, the arts in our community are so important. I think I was talking to Frank and Eddie about my daughter plays in the Hopewell Community Band, and they were down at Hopewell Park last night. A couple weeks ago, they were at Lincoln Park doing an outdoor performance. What tremendously talented musicians in that group. But please support live music in our community. And most importantly, shall I say selfishly, the Hoot Owls on Friday night, 6 to 8, Falls Park in Beaver Falls.
Marie Timpano will be behind the drum kit.
I will.
There.
I will.
Rockin' and rollin'
on
7th Avenue in Beaver Falls.
I love it. It's so much fun.
Always good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Marie Timpano from the Cornerstone of Beaver County.
At Friendly Federal Credit Union, we've always said that it's almost like a family reunion when you stop in.